Today in the crypto space, we see the market still showing some strength. Bitcoin right around $93,600, making a higher high in price discovery, up approximately 3%. Ethereum hovering, still going sideways, waiting for its opportunity to reach much higher levels. And the altcoin market, the rest of the crypto space, a mix of green and red with some good gainers like Bonk, HBAR, Render, Ondo, VeChain, and a few others. However, there are a few dips like Cashpa coming down to a little bit of a dip. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one project that I believe is ready to move, and that project is called Avalanche. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunity, whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on with the general market first. We'll take a look at the overall top 100. We'll take a look at Bitcoin, just use it as a leading indicator, and then we'll jump right into the Avalanche, the AVAX chart, because I believe that AVAX, although it did break out of structure and it is kind of hesitating right now, these hesitations are signs of accumulation and potentially continuation patterns to the upside. So I think AVAX needs a bit of our attention. But before we do that, again, let's take a look at this market cap. Slow grind to the upside. Very, very nice. Even though the volume is coming down, we're still grinding upwards, guys. Imagine if all of a sudden we get an inflow of volume. Do we actually break out and see this thing start to fly again? Market cap reaching much higher levels. We're above all-time highs, clearly above that $3 trillion mark. Really, really good in price discovery. Fresh capital should be entering in the market very soon. We should see a distribution happening into the rest of the crypto space, because at this current moment, we know that Bitcoin at the current moment is hogging all the capital, right? This is the only way Bitcoin could move. And of course, the theory is here, the higher Bitcoin goes, the more capital it could attract to the crypto space, the better and the stronger the rotation will happen when we get the altcoin season. So we got to be very patient here, because Bitcoin's doing some of the heavy lifting right now just to attract capital, bring in some new investors. Fresh new investors means, retail investors and mass adoption for the space in general. So very, very healthy at the current moment. As you can see, Bitcoin doing a great $93,500, while Ethereum goes sideways, and some of the altcoins, they're chilling out a little bit. We do have some that are still looking good. Look at Doge. Doge is deciding to move again. Nice rounded bottom. You guys know I like those rounded bottoms. Up 10.5% for the day. Really healthy. Pretty good there. And as we keep on going down, we do see a few that are just hanging out. AVAX being one of them. Not really doing much, but is this the calm before the storm? Did AVAX break its resistance and now it's just consolidating, taking an opportunity to offload short-term traders and onboarding long-term bulls for a continuation to the upside? And of course, guys, hang tight. We'll talk about the Avalanche price in a second. I just want to get through the top 100 so we can get a sense of what's happening here. Sui going sideways, really nice stable coin at the current moment. However, with a potential of a continuation to the upside in the immediate short term, I am wondering if we're going to see that same rotation that we saw from Sui into Aptos. I got positions built on Aptos. I'm hoping that's the case, that we obviously have positions built on Sui. I just feel like that rotation could be something that we could take advantage of. Another project that I'm feeling that, we should pay attention to, and not only a project in this sense, a whole ecosystem, is the Near protocol ecosystem. Ultimately, I feel like Near has been quiet for way too long, and it's due to kind of make a couple of moves, because we've seen some of these larger caps move already, and Near protocol, spearheading this AI narrative could definitely be an interesting one. And as I mentioned, Aptos going sideways. Is it patiently waiting? Patiently waiting waiting for its opportunity to see that rotation, maybe a bit of capital inflow. We know a lot of these new layer ones are waiting their turn patiently to get that opportunity, and it could be the case. We have Hedera Hashgraph doing really good in the last little while, up 100% in the last 7 days. That's good stuff there. Bonk, a bit of a retracement on Caspa. Buy the rumor, sell the news. That could possibly be the thing here. We know that Caspa was getting listed on Kraken. It happened, and this is usually what happens, guys. Don't worry. It's not based on FUD or anything like that. It's just sell pressure, right? Sell pressure after a news event is very typical. And as we go down, we do see a lot of great grinds to the upside, like VeChain is doing good. Filecoin could be looking for a nice bull flag to the upside. And we have Floki taking a bit of a coffee break, all good after a nice run to the upside, 23% and much more from its bottom. We expect it to take off very soon, perhaps. Injective looking good. The Graph GRT looking good. I'm an OG on this project. Guys, I was really early into this project in previous cycles. We've seen the Graph do very well. I bought a bag earlier on. The Graph is doing good. I'm not convinced that it's going to be one of the major gainers in this bull run, but we're seeing a lot of the, let's call them the boomer coins, the dino coins, wake up and show strength, and it could be that the Graph, it may be one of them. So this is something that I'm definitely keeping my eye on. Today was really one of the major gainers, 11% to the upside. So congrats if you happen to get into that one. But really, right now we should be focusing on opportunities that are at the bottom of the range. And the Graph was one of them, just hanging out there, doing nothing for so long. So why not a bit of a rotation into GRT? Because if it continues, it could be a good gainer in the immediate short term. Okay, so on those looking good. Quant waking up a little bit, back to that $94 mark, $100, guys. Quant making a nice comeback there. Could actually break out, reach higher highs, and do its thing. Guys, if you missed out on my Beam video yesterday, Beam is doing pretty good. It's playing out pretty nicely. It's up 15.5%. I know it's a slow grind, but you know what? It's been doing pretty good. As soon as it picks up a bit of traction, we could see Beam actually start to run here. And obviously, we're waiting for the gaming narrative to wake up. And Beam could be one of those major players in this bull run for the gaming narrative. So keep an eye on it. Arweave, we're also being very patient on what Arweave. Tezo's taking a bit of a pullback. And the market is still looking hot. Like, I know the overall consensus is that Bitcoin has been a great gainer, and we're all hesitating and waiting to see if we get a massive correction. But in the meantime, guys, it is absolutely safe to find projects that are at the bottom, because the reality is the dips aren't going to be that hard, and it's easier to get defensive on those dips. So keep an eye out there. Don't be buying green candles. Don't be buying projects that have run up so hard already, because the likelihood is that you get bigger retracements once it hits its top, because profit takers are going to take profit. Guys, that's the reality. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about charts, so let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with Bitcoin. Bitcoin at the end of the day has been doing super well. Ultimately, grinding to the upside in a strong way, where we see higher high, guys. We're in price discovery once again, moving to higher levels. Are we going to go for another move? Are we going to go for another expansion? Are we going to hit the $100,000 mark? Guys, at this point, this is where we're going, right? We do potentially see some divergence happening. It's clear. It is clear as we see the price rise. We're seeing the momentum and the volatility push down. This is class A bearish divergence on the daily as of now. Okay, we just have to understand is that we can stay in a very overbought state and see this thing actually invalidate and hang out here for a little bit longer as the price keeps on going down. And in fact, all this volatility is doing, that is pushing down, all it's doing is slowing it down just a little bit. So the reality is, it's a sign of strength to see Bitcoin grind up slowly as volatility is pushing down. Because can you imagine what's going to happen when Bitcoin, the volatility hits this level and the price and volatility decides to push up? What's going to happen to the price on the way up again? It's likely that we see momentum push up. It's likely that we maintain a nice green expansion. And it's likely that we see maybe a nice fat move out of Bitcoin to 100,000. So this is one of the things they're going to be watching out for. Is resets of momentum, and taking risk accordingly based on structure. Bitcoin right now, big picture, is very risky. However, if we can factor in that Bitcoin is currently in a structure where, we see an ascending channel, we could possibly consider this level, the bottom of the wedge, the level of which to invalidate a bullish thesis. If we do come down, maybe you can exit, but at the end of the day, buying all-time highs, buying price discovery, buying tops like this is very difficult. However, if you look at altcoins that haven't left the station, it's a better risk to reward ratio. So right now, Bitcoin showing the possibility of a continuation to the upside for this market in the immediate short term, but just be prepared, guys, because at any moment, Bitcoin could get its 20 to 30% retracement, and we want to be prepared with some cash on the side. So personally speaking, I'm de-risking any projects that have been great gainers for myself, that I've done really good with, deep in the green positions. I'm taking profits because ultimately I want to make sure I have capital to buy dips. All right, guys, so that's Bitcoin. Let's jump right into the AVAX avalanche chart. Let's zoom out here a second. See, let's see what's going on. In fact, let's go down the 4-day just so we can get a broad perspective of the structure that's happening here. Let's consolidate this a little bit. Let's kind of, look at what kind of mess I got going on here. Let's get rid of some of this so that we can, clean up a little bit. And you can see that we've identified a nice pivot point structure here at the bottom. And this is where I identified the best opportunity to be buying in. Guys, I couldn't have made this arrow bigger. This is it. Okay, that was the time. And I made it very clear to the point that I even emphasized its importance by putting a yellow box. And if you follow me here on the channel, you know that yellow boxes mean accumulation. Anywhere in that zone would have been an opportunity. And guess what, guys? You can see that this was the opportunity. Anywhere in the zone. Now that we've broken out, and in fact, we changed character. Let me explain what I mean here. As of now, as you can see that we were coming down with lower lows and lower highs. As soon as we got to this level, we changed direction by showing us a change of character. We made a higher low, a higher high, another higher low, and of course, another massive higher high. So because of that, we went from lower lows to lower lows and lower highs to higher highs and higher lows, creating a beautiful change of character pivot point structure, inverse head and shoulder. Clear, very clear, beautiful pattern, easy to play, easy to identify, and easy to take risk at those levels as the confirmations were being built over time. And this is super, super important. Then we broke the neckline, which is pretty much this level right here. It was a little bit vague, but still pretty much this level right around $29-30. And you can see that we expanded since then. However, now the question is it time to get in? And I would say, look, we have to get used to buying into bull flags. Because bull flags are structures that we could come up with setups. Let's go into the daily. Okay, the daily is the time zone. Now the time frame. Now you can see we got volume into this, guys. That's very good confirmation of a continuation. We got strength into that move. We're getting short-term top profit takers that are trading this move, and that's about it. And as that's happening, we're getting a bit of a consolidation. Okay, what's interesting to me is if we get a daily consolidation. AVAX has been quiet here on the daily time frame. We haven't been getting any major moves. Now, what I want to note is that we're above the 200 daily EMA, which is the orange line, which is bullish. We've expanded. We made a confirmed higher high out of this change of character, as I already explained, which is bullish. We ultimately want to get through this volume gap and get up to higher levels so that we can start expanding. But there's a lot of volume here to deal with. Right, there's a lot of squeezing that could happen here. Short squeezes, a lot of squeeze, a lot of emotions that could happen here. So this consolidation that we're experiencing at the current moment is pretty much expected, given that this node of volume is right here. As you can see, looking left, lots of volume, lots of market participation here. So do we take this as an opportunity that we could eventually build a position here as we build the structure? 100%, guys. This could be the option. Now, why not get onto the 4-hour? And you could probably see the structure building as we speak a little bit more clearly. Obviously, daily structures are a lot better because you expect bigger, stronger expansions. But the 4-hour structure, the 4-hour time frame could allow you to track the structure. And why not buy bottoms of the structure, even if it's confluent on the 200 EMA on the 4-hour? So buying in right around $31 would be an ideal place to be buying the dips. Because what about if this price eventually starts printing a symmetrical, some sort of bull flag, a pennant or anything that generally insinuates continuation to the upside? This is what I'm hoping for. This is what I'm waiting for. Now, the rounded top suggests that we could roll over. And if we get into lower time frames even further, you can see that we got a bit of a head and shoulders formation, suggesting, yeah, maybe we do dip a little bit further. It's a bit complex, but that's a complex head and shoulder formation. If it breaks the neckline, which is ideal, right around on the point of control, $34, we could definitely break down and hit these targets and potentially buy the dip and buy the bottom of the range and then get back up. And then you get what I mean. We start breaking out. So what I'm trying to say here is try not to time the tops and bottoms when you're looking for positions. I think the best strategy would be to DCA, especially as we are in this zone right here, as we potentially could backtest the breakout. And that's what we really want as breakout traders. It actually broke out, and we might come down into this level and backtest this breakout, and it could form a structure that we can form a setup with. Now, before we do that, before we look at the setup, let's take a look at oscillators. The oscillators have been working really, really well here lately, guys. If you want to know more about the synergy signal oscillators, feel free to take a look in the description, the link in the description. I got links there for you so you can investigate. But ultimately, it's been doing really, really good. We want to see the divergence. Right now we're overbought, and it looks like we by that is this. I want this, guys, and I'm sure you're here for this. This is what you want, right? We've gotten good. It's pretty good, this little pop. I get it. But the party hasn't really gotten started, right? We want to get overbought. We want to stay overbought. We want to see it in an extreme way. And I got the green arrow to let you know, guys, that is really what we're waiting for. But in the short term, we can get a bit of volatility. Why not see the volatility line, the orange line, get fully reset, recover, and get overbought? Could that happen? 100% that could happen. 100% we could see this thing maybe consolidate, like I said, get a full reset, consolidate, come down, and then go up for another higher high and start blasting to $50, which would be absolutely great. Okay, so this is something that I'm watching out for, because really, let's go back to theory and talking about structure. The reality is it got its first leg, right? And this is going to be a five-wave structure with basically a structure with 5 waves, we want the second leg, the second impulsive move needs to be bigger than this one. Okay, so we got one, we got the retracement, and then we got the next one, which is the third wave, right? The third wave has to be bigger than the first wave, or else this is not an impulsive wave, a 5-wave structure that should take us into, you know, much higher levels, above potentially $60, which would be absolutely bullish here for Avalanche. Now, I know Avalanche has a lot of good things coming around the corner. You know, it's got a subnets that a lot of people are talking about, and AVAX at the end of the day coming out with some good gaming projects and so on. Of course, bullish. But again, if we do take those dips into the support zone, those are your absolute best opportunities. Okay, so let's clean up some of this, and let's take a look at the setup. Ultimately, this is what I'm looking at. Obviously, we're looking to build long positions. If we get in right now, I'll show you the invalidation of this would be the bottom of the structure. We got one touch. This is our problem, is that we got one touch. We might be able to see it on the 4-hour just a little bit better. You can see that one touch. It's just one touch. Is that enough to build a thesis off of? I would say no. This is our problem. I would say no, but we could say, okay, maybe I'm going to start DCing. And because you're willing to DCA bit by bit, it doesn't really matter to have a tight stop loss, because your position size, based on DCA, your position size should be small at the beginning. And you should increase your position size as you build confluence in the chart. And ultimately, you have the opportunity to DCA your way down and improve your entry, perhaps down to the bottom levels. And if you can get your entry down here and overall into this structure and put a stop loss eventually below maybe a double bottom type of thing, where you can, you know, I would say that even right here is not too bad, especially if your entry, you can improve your entry and put it right here, a 2-to-1 ratio. And I'm not even talking about a breakout here, guys. A 2-to-1 ratio getting to about $45 will put you at about a 4-to-1 ratio, which would be absolutely great. Now, still, that's very, very modest in the sense that, are we going to be holding this trade for the remainder of this bull run? Are we going to get it to previous highs? Are we going to get it into, hold on, let me get to it. Are we going to get it into price discovery? Are we going to be holding this position to the top of the bull run that could make us 5, maybe 1,000%, given the fact is that we want to see a higher high and get into extension levels? So what I'm trying to say here is, guys, zoom out, look at what's happening here. We got our first higher low, and we might be getting a nice pivot point structure right here to go for that higher high above the $65. Guys, that's super bullish. Super bullish. So then, of course, there's a lot of opportunities to take profits, scale out, take half on the double, trail up stop losses, do what you got to do. But honestly, right into this level might be your last opportunity to get in on a back test in the spring off of support, where the risk to reward ratio is still very healthy. All right, guys, so it looks pretty good. Guys, join me live tonight. I'm going to be live at 8 p.m. EST talking about crypto news and price action. If you have any projects you want me to cover, that is a great time and place to make those requests. And of course, I'm going to be putting them in top priority. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.